Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do a level 120 review of Rayches, and she is the final selection quest reward unit. And to begin, some top-line thoughts on her, which is something that I'm trying to do more with the unit reviews. But she is a very straightforward attacker. There's not a lot else that she can do. She has kind of the worst mobility possible, just to move 3, jump 1, and then AP, I don't think she has a problem with AP, but I'll talk about that later. She's not swimming in it. Although she is a magic-scaled attacker, she doesn't have a big pool of it to start with, like a magic user. She has lots and lots of penetration, and she can penetrate both the ways that you could defend against her. So high spirit or high slash resistance, she can get through both. She has a dispel. She does not have any real breaks, which is something that's kind of needed for an attacker. And then she has great synergy with her jobs and main jobs. Like a lot of the weaknesses with her main job can be covered with one of her sub-jobs. So that really helps her. She has a little bit of sustainability with like some barriers and then some HP drain. But I would still kind of treat her as more kind of a paper-thin, sort of a glass cannon character. But yeah, I think those are the top-line thoughts. Let's have a look at her 3D model. Very cool. And animation. Very cool. Alrighty. Okay, but let's look at her stats. She has a very high magic value. It's like top 10 in the game if you just consider URs. It's like higher than Golbez, it's higher than Classic Lassie. But we can look at her resistances. She has a little bit to magic, so she can take magic damage better. Although, in my using her, I think like a really good magic attack is still going to take away maybe like half her HP total, so you can't really use her as a magic tank. And then resistance to Berserk, so that would make her great against Megamont. I showed in a recent arena showcase that she can do great damage against Megamont. And then her Trustmaster I don't feel is amazing. Decent HP, nice defense and spirit, that's cool. But the ability is an AOE buff to raise critical damage. It's very rare to get a critical damage buff from anything. This is one way to get it, but I don't feel like it's that necessary. And for her, actually, I feel like Valrush's Trustmaster is better, and that's what I've been using. But kind of similar stats there. And then this one is a self-buff only. Will raise Faith, and then Magic, and then Dexterity. She likes all of that. That's going to give her more damage, which is why you want to use her. And then I guess we can look at her best sword here. This was the one released with Valrush's release, I think. But very high magic stat, and then slash attack up. I still need to make the +5 of this. And then, speaking of Valrush, I think he is the best comparison to her. We can bring him up real quick. But I feel like maybe she is the, well, she's more straightforward for sure, but I think she's the better character for it too. Valrush, compared to Rayches, he has kind of more stuff that he can do, like support stuff or like side stuff, but I think Rayches is going to be the damage source. And then I also feel like the sub-jobs on Valrush do not have as good synergy with each other. He does have White Mage, so he can do like full life, I think it was, but that's not great synergy with him being an attacker. And then here the Kotodama Tsukai. This helps not at all with his range, which is one of the main weaknesses of the main job. But thankfully, Rayches, she has the Rune Knight sub-job, and that kind of covers all of the weaknesses that the main job has. So simply to play, I think Rayches is the better unit. And then she has Black Mage, which gets crapped on a lot, but it does have some uses, which I will talk about later. But yeah, move 3, jump 1, she's not very mobile at all. And yeah, not super tanky. I really think if you want to use Rayches in a PvP especially, you want to pair her with a tank, or at the very least a tie-up unit like Falm, just to keep the attention away from Rayches. And then wait for Rayches to close the gap and then do big damage with her attacks. But yeah, of all of the selection quest units, I think she is the most straightforward, just an out-and-out attacker. She might be the most straightforward water unit even, maybe similar to like Christmas Ramada or Gurasuda. Okay, but let's go into the board, and let's talk about... Oh, one thing I wanted to say about the board. She kind of has more of the AP up nodes than Valrouche, so I don't think she runs into AP problems as much as him. I've never really felt the need to like put the bells on her or anything, so yeah, that's not super bad for her. Okay, let's look at her skills. Alright, this is the probably the main attack that she's going to use most of the time. This was the one doing a great damage in the Arena Showcase that I did earlier. But goes out in a straight line, small AoE. Will lower reaction rate, and then do medium damage. And then we can see here it is a magic scaled, but a slash attack. But one important thing that we do not see here is the reflect icon. This is going to become much more relevant when Celes is released. She'll be able to absorb any magic scaled attack with that reflect icon on it. So Rayches, even though she's the same element, she could be a good counter to Celes actually. Okay, next we have kind of a short range attack here, but big damage, and then on critical will break agility, and then also raise her own CT gauge. I did say that she has like no breaks. I meant like, you know, spirit breaks or magic resistance breaks or slash resistance breaks. Okay, next, self buff. This will give herself an HP barrier against magic attacks. And then the way that HP barriers work in this game, this is something that's kind of new to the game, new and rare. Any attack, any magic scaled attack that hits her will be cancelled when this barrier is up. And then the reason why it is an HP barrier is that, say she has a 3000 HP barrier, she's hit with a 2000 magic damage attack, that HP barrier will be lowered down to 1000. But what happens if the magic scaled attack takes away more than, say, the 3000 HP, is that the attack will still be cancelled. It doesn't matter how much it does. But of course, if you do over the 3000, then the barrier will be broken, and then the next attack will hit as normal. So yeah, this lends a little bit to her tankiness against magic attacks, but still I would feel more comfortable taking her with a tank. Okay, here is a single target, small damage, will break attack and magic. I use this a lot in the selection quests. Here is an AOE buff. This has very high priority. She'll use this first, even before the Trustmaster ability. But this will raise slash attack. This is great for her, and was great for Moraga as well, and then raise own critical rate for herself. She does like critical for some of her attacks, but I kind of feel like it's less necessary for her than maybe some other characters. We'll look at the benefits of that as we go through. Okay, another medium range attack. This is her job level 25 skill. Will hit twice for medium damage, and then on critical will restore own AP. Multiple hits, of course, is great for chaining, great for raids and Trials of Reckoning, and also good for breaking barriers. And then when I restored AP with this, I got 8 back, which is not amazing, but it's something. And then we can look at the main job, the sub-skills. This is great. This is her longest range with her main job. A little bit of AoE, small damage, and then on critical will dispel. So this is some nice utility on her. And then here, short range, medium damage. On critical will break brave. This is not great, but it's cheap, at least. Okay, and then let's look at the Rune Knight subjob. This is what I have on her 95% of the time. I do give up the dispel. but instead I get this, Drain Evoke. This is the main reason to use this sub-job. But this will also have her longest range, 5 panels out. Will do super small damage, although we've seen her do like, 4 or 5k damage with this in the Arena Showcase. She will heal that, which adds to her self-sustain, and then will greatly raise her magic up and give her slash resistance penetration. And I think that's 40% at max, so that really sets up all of her other attacks, which are slash attacks. And so yeah, using this, she can hit guys from far away, buff herself, give herself penetration, and then the next turn she can move again, get closer, and then hit with the higher multiplier attacks. So yeah, that's part of the reason why the Rune Knight covers the weaknesses of her main job so well. And then we have Water Blade and Water Blade. Those are fine. Got the Fire Slayer in there. Hazard Spell, take away some HP from herself to give her the self buff for magic up. I think Drain Evoke is going to give her enough magic. And then here, this is kind of the one break that she has. This is a Water Imperil. But it's a TP skill for very short range, so I don't really see her using this. And then finally we have Black Mage. I can't really recommend to use this sub-job because some of these get pretty expensive, like Waterga, AP 30. But it is useful because Bio, this is a non-elemental magic attack. That could be good if you just want more variety of damage coming out. And then Drain, another non-elemental attack, but can't be reflected, so this could be useful against Celes as well. And then give her some HP, of course. Alright, and then we got support abilities. We got Magic Up from Black Mage. That's another good reason to have the Black Mage sub-job. This is from her main job. Let's see, Agility up, Spirit Penetration up, and then starting AP up. So yeah, this is another reason why AP management is not such a big deal for her. But at max, this will give you 40% Spirit Penetration, so that's pretty crazy. And then otherwise, you could give her a Sharp Mind from Rune Knight. This would be 40 more Spirit Penetration, so you could get 80 Spirit Penetration, so magic tanks, beware. And then Accuracy up, that's nice. And then here, this is the water damage up, and then lightning resistance down. Still, the element damage is hard to guard against, so if you wanted to use that instead of the penetration, this would raise your damage against everybody, so even if they didn't have spirit, you could use this, maybe along with the magic up. And then here, HP up and spirit up. Yeah, this is if you want tankiness, but I would rather just pair her with a tank or a tie-up unit, and then get more damage from her. And then reaction abilities. All of her reaction abilities are pretty good, actually. But here, Magic Counter from Black Mage. That could be good damage. Can't be reflected or absorbed. Here's the Rune Knight counter ability. When she's hit with magic damage, she will restore AP. That's okay. But the one that I use the most is from her main job. When she is hit with damage, she will counterattack. And then the lower her HP is, the more damage she will do. Actually, I might want to change that to the magic counter. Let's do that. Alright, and then master ability, the typical party water buff. And then for self, slash damage up 10. That's fine. But yeah, that is a look at Rayches. I'm very happy to have her at 120. And then I want to do another, at least another Arena Showcase with her in the near future. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.